When volatility hits, the structure matters more than ever. This is Bitcoin on point. I give you the only news that matters and the cleanest technical analysis to trade the best asset in the world, Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is moving very fast right now. A lot of people are calling this fear panic and chaos. But when I look at the market, this does not look emotional. This looks like liquidity is moving. This looks like positioning before forced resets. And when you understand why the market is dumping, you stop reacting to every candle and start preparing for what comes next. In this update, I am going to walk you through exactly what is happening underneath the surface. We are going to break down the key Bitcoin levels that matter right now, what happens if they hold, what happens if they fail, and there is also a very clear Bitcoin trade idea that's developing, but it is not active yet. We will also talk about Ethereum because liquidity is clearly building there as well. So make sure you stay until the end because this is the type of market where preparation matters more than speed. And before we jump into the charts, make sure to smash the like button. Let's get a solid target on this video. And if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do because these updates matter the most during this volatility. Now let's look at some quick macro context and then straight back to the price. First off, Ethereum is positioning. Strategic ETH reserves have added more than $2 billion in value over the last 30 days. This isn't retail behavior. This is long-term allocation. Now, secondly, why markets are dumping. Deutsche Bank highlighted something important in the discussion around tariffs and capital flows. Now, Europe holds roughly $8 trillion in US bonds and equities. That is nearly twice the rest of the world combined. And even if a small portion of that capital starts rotating out of dollars, it puts pressure on treasuries, it pushes yields higher, and it also weighs in on the dollar. So that type of macro stress hits risk assets first. Now, finally, a data point many people are ignoring. In the last 6 hours alone, the crypto market has lost $105 billion in total market capitalization. This is a rapid decline, and it's forced positioning that's resetting. Now, let's bring all of this back into the charts. And Bitcoin on the weekly structure is currently supported by the 100 EMA. And a clear demand zone is priced below it. And this is the second interaction with the 100-week EMA. Historically, when this level holds, the upsides that follows can be very aggressive. So from this region, a move up to 60% towards 135K remains structurally possible. It's not guaranteed, but again, definitely possible as long as this support holds. Now, let's look at Bitcoin on the daily and looking at our trade idea which is forming because Bitcoin has already taken buy-side liquidity around the $97,000 level, and this is the move that cleared stops, it flushed the late longs and created the rotation that we're actually seeing now. So this is important because this is how healthy markets reset before the continuation of the trend. Now, the next level I'm watching is very clear. It's around $88,000, and we have a daily order block in that area where buyers have previously stepped in quite aggressively. So this isn't a random level. This is a level where demand has already proven itself. And this is where a trade idea begins, not where a trade idea is forced. So if the price comes into the zone and we see the confirmation, the structural shift, or a strong reaction, this is where execution would make sense. Below that, however, around $84,000, we have a stronger higher time frame support. Realistically, this is not a level I expect to break easily. So the plan from here is very simple. Let price take liquidity, let it come into demand, and then wait for confirmation. No confirmation means no trade. So this is a developing trade idea, not a prediction. Now, on the 4-hour chart, the recent dump becomes much clearer. Price has sold off aggressively on the back of macro stress, and I'm not chasing this move. I'm waiting for the price to reach the area where reactions actually matter. So for me, this is around $90,000. We've had previous points of contact in this area that were resistance in the past and can now be turned into support or slightly just below that. And this is where the risk to reward would improve. Not in the middle of the volatility, right? Not in the middle of the noise and all of the chaos. Now, a quick update on our trading challenge. I'm growing an account from $10,000 to $100,000 live and fully transparent. Now, so far, we've taken 2 trades, one on Ton, and also one on Bitcoin. Now, both of these trades were winners, and the account is currently up 2.86%. That's around $286 in profit. Every trade is shared in real time inside my Telegram channel. All executions are done on the week's exchange platform, and every trade is tracked using Profit Precision. So everything stays structured and fully accountable. Now, let's move on to Ethereum, and starting with the weekly chart, Ethereum is pushing towards a sell-side liquidity above, and once that liquidity is taken, this is when the next move becomes critical. It's where a market decides whether continuation or rotation is going to occur back into demand. So Ethereum is approaching that decision area right now. And on its daily chart, ETH has followed structure very cleanly. In the short term, price moved higher in an upward trend formation, but now a large amount of sell side liquidity has formed below that price. So because of that, I'm expecting a much lower move towards the sort of $3,000 to $2,800 region. It's not bearish, it's simply liquidity being respected, and from that zone I'll be looking for more long setups, not before it. So this is why I'm not forcing trades right now. I'm staying reactive, not predictive, and if price comes to my levels and structure confirms, then I would react. If it does not, I stay patient. Capital preservation comes before the activity. Now, to finalize all of this macro and technical data, when we zoom out, Bitcoin on the monthly has a major trend line in play. On the weekly, the 100 EMA and demand are holding. Bitcoin daily, $97,000 liquidity was taken. We have an 88,000 order block below. Bitcoin on the 4-hour is waiting for $90,000 reactions. Ethereum on the weekly has a liquidity decision point approaching. And on the daily for ETH, a pullback is expected before any long entries. Macro, capital stress, and positioning is resetting. This is not panic. This is preparation. So volatility exposes emotion, structure rewards the patience, and now we wait and let the market